Hey guys, HW here. We're coming down to Sydney Harbour again today. It's Saturday, the 8th of January. It's a mega hot day in Sydney again. They said this summer was going to be a cool, wet summer. It's certainly wet, but boy, it's hot. It's pretty much 30 degrees Celsius every day and really, really humid. I'm just going down the stairs here towards Lavender Bay, which is one of the many coves in Sydney Harbour, and a popular place to moor your yacht or your speedboat or whatever sort of watercraft you have. It's a popular mooring site. Apologies in advance. The grunting sound that you hear is my dog, which I've got the family trailing behind me, walking the dog. We thought we'd all come down here. We're getting a bit sick of being in the house in the air conditioning, and wanted to get out and get some fresh air. So we came down to the harbour. We haven't been down here for a while. The last time we came down here, we actually went to Luna Park. We took the kids to Luna Park, which we'll be walking past in a few minutes' time. And when you look at the water, there's a bit of leaf matter in the water. That's because Sydney's had so much rain the past couple of, pretty much the last month. And so you do get a bit of runoff into the harbour. Oh look, somebody's getting married today. Got their van there with the white ribbons on it. You can see the Harbour Bridge in the distance now. It's a different angle to the last one that I filmed. The last film I did down at the harbour, you'll see it in my collection of videos. There's a picture of the Opera House. So we're actually filming over towards this area. And I think I pointed out Luna Park in the last video as well. So we're going to get a bit closer to that today. Definitely a wedding. Here's the photographer. It looks like there's the groom party on the wharf there. Good that they have their jackets off. There's the bride. Now my dog will eventually get tired and he'll stop grunting. He only grunts when he's pulling on his harness. When we first start walking, he'll get tired eventually and quieten down. So don't let that worry you too much. I read in the paper this morning, apparently Australia or Sydney or New South Wales, which is the state that Sydney's in, I think is leading the world now in new Omicron infections or COVID infections. After we'd done so well suppressing the virus, and the government made the decision just before Christmas to open everything up, it looks like we're in a bit of trouble now with the rising infections. This black fence just here, this is the fence that keeps people off the rail track. Yeah, again, we've got a rail track built right on Sydney Harbour. which it's not ideal, I don't think, but that's the way they did it back in the day. The houses you see in the distance there, if you wanted to know, this is not the most exclusive part of Sydney, believe it or not. Being close to the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge and everything else doesn't really command the prices that you'd think. You're looking at, for a unit over there with no parking, anywhere from 800 to 1.25 million. So 1 bedroom, tiny unit, old. The houses, they range in value depending on the size of them and how many parking spaces they have, between 3 million, some of them up to getting close to 20 million. But they're like quite decent sized homes with views over the harbour. More exclusive areas of Sydney, probably the most exclusive is Point Piper. Some of the large homes around there, they're 20 million plus, and Vaucluse as well, and even some homes up in Dover Heights as well. Now, as I said, it's super humid today, so there's actually not that many people out. It's actually quite uncomfortable to be out walking today. Normally, this area is pretty crowded with people. It's a popular place to come on the weekend. There's many people, depending on where you are in Sydney. You can catch a ferry here, you can catch a ferry from Manly over to here, you can catch a ferry from the western suburbs of Sydney like Parramatta out to here. And this sort of, I think they call this the back lot or something like that, in Luna Park. It's where they've got some smaller rides for the children, for the younger children. And I believe this roller coaster just here, which is a kids roller coaster, was just put in recently. As I said in my last video, Luna Park is like pretty much the only amusement park in Sydney. There used to be Australia's Wonderland out the west, but that was closed down a long time ago. And so if you want a bit of fun in Sydney, you don't want to travel too far, this is pretty much the only place you can come. And I'm walking obviously around the back of Luna Park, and you can see some gates up there, but it's open to the public. It's not like you need a ticket to get in. You can walk through there. It's an open park, but obviously to use any of the amusements, ride on any of the rides, you do have to purchase a ticket for that. And it's a color-coded system. It gets you on different rides depending on age groups, and some of them obviously have a height requirement as well. That roller coaster you see right in front is the Mouse Trap, which is like super old. It's been here since the start of time, but it's actually quite fun to jump on there. And Coney Island, that's a little sort of an enclosed area for play with some of the older style amusements. Got some old coin operated machines in there, some old potato sack slides, and crazy mirrors and stuff like that. It's actually quite cool in there. Probably won't go in there today though. This is the old North Sydney pool over here. Very famous pool right down near the harbour. Beautiful pool. Many school swimming carnival held in here. And it's all been pulled down. It's been refurbished. Be interesting to see what it looks like when it's finished. There's the ferry for Milson's Point. So as I said, you can catch a ferry directly to Luna Park. One of the Harbour Bridge pylons, they call it. As we get underneath the Harbour Bridge here, it's actually quite nice and cool under here. It's a nice breeze blowing off the water. Certainly better than walking in the direct sun. Tilt the camera up. Have a look at the Harbour Bridge from below. The Harbour Bridge, I think, completed in the early 30s at some stage. For those that don't know, it's all made from British steel. It was a composite material that they used, quite advanced for the time. So if any of you English people watching this, you can be proud that your steel is holding up the Harbour Bridge. I think this is one of the deepest part of the harbour as well, right here. It's a memorial for a few of Australian Navy ships that were lost during World War II. I think this one's for the HMS Sydney, HMAS Sydney. Sydney Harbour was attacked during World War II as well, so it was a popular destination for US sailors taking a break from the Pacific Theatre, and the Japanese bombed Sydney from offshore with large submarines, and then infiltrated Sydney Harbour with midget submarines and actually sunk some ships in the harbour with some considerable loss of life. Something that you won't, if you're overseas, you wouldn't know that unless you'd actually specifically been to Sydney and seen some of the memorials. I think they were actually looking to attack a US ship that was in the harbour but missed and caught an Australian, I think, hospital ship or some sort of supply ship instead. So they missed their intended target, but unfortunately picked up our guys. Yeah, some of that leaf matter again in the water there. So it's not like it's raw sewage or anything like that. It's just some leaves that have been washed into the harbour with all the rain that we've been having. But during Christmas cruise time, you do have some rat bags that'll throw rubbish into the harbour from the boat, and so you will see some, cans and plastic plates floating in the harbour sometimes, but they do a pretty good job cleaning it up.
Yeah, that's how it came out. Was it? No, they used.
Look at that older style Victorian place up there. That's quite nice. Wonder how much that costs. Probably, with views like that, that'd probably be one of those ones that's like 15 millions upwards, I'd say. Lots of big fig trees all around Sydney, right down near the harbour. So look at that, you can just walk right up to the harbour. So you have to be careful down here with little kids. Apartments up there, or condos, maybe several $1,000,000 each. We newer style ones like that, 5 million upwards, I'd say. This suburb over here is getting more towards Kirribilli now. And if you watched my last video when I was over at the Opera House, I was sort of trying to point out where Kirribilli House was, which is one of the residences for the Prime Minister when he's in Sydney, and other dignitaries. But the GoPro doesn't have a zoom on it, so it's not like I can zoom in on it. So I'm going to try to get you closer to that place today by walking there. Obviously I won't get the shot from the harbour, but I'll at least show you where the where the Prime Minister lives when he's in Sydney. Our Prime Minister is actually from Sydney as well, so he does have a house in the Sutherland Shire as well, I think. Someone will have to check that for me. The problem with a lot of these units down here that were built in the early days of Sydney, they don't come with parking. Oh look, there's a little bush turkey. Even here, right in the middle of the city, we've got wildlife. These stairs are killing me. I'll take a break up in the shade here. Down. We're coming up to Admiralty House and Kirribilli House now. It's actually a big compound. There's a number of properties there. Oh look, there's the Australian Federal Police that have, I guess, the job of guarding the official residence of the Prime Minister. And this Admiralty House is actually the residence of the Governor General. Now, if you don't know about Australian Parliament or government, the Governor General is Queen Elizabeth II's envoy or representative in Australia. They actually sign off on who becomes Prime Minister, and after they become Prime Minister. Queen Elizabeth II is still our head of state. We're not a republic. We, once were a colony of England. There's Kirribilli House in there. I don't know what part of Kirribilli House that is. I always thought it was bigger than that. So this is the back of the compound, and I can't get in there because it's not open to the public. But I can tell you what, there's a lot of security. There's heaps of like infrared cameras and lasers and all sorts of stuff in there. I don't think any of the baddies are going to be getting in there anytime soon. All this is the defence of the Kirribilli House and Admiralty House, the big compound. There's a nice little park down here that takes you down to the harbour. Plenty of places to sit. There's Fort Denison over there, which you probably can't see. All my videos I film in mostly in 4K 60 frames per second, so I recommend you watch this on a larger screen. It's not going to come out as good on the mobile phone. So as we walk up to Luna Park, the old laughing face of Luna Park. Let's see if we can bring the dog in.
Don't come on the leash?
Nah, no dogs at all, mate, unfortunately. Yeah.
I'll just...
Leash, off the leash, no.
No worries.
If you're coming for a look through, that's fine, mate. Just send them around the other side. There's a couple of gates up to the top there you can get inside.
Hey, do you want me to... I'll grab some stuff for them. I'll meet you at that gate down there. Right? You didn't go on? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Actually a quite nice little complex, Luna Park, and they've got a good conference facility. They've got good conference facilities as well. So many of the companies around Sydney will hold conferences here. There's a conference centre, and they usually open up the park at the same time to allow you to sample some of the rides and some of the amusements at the same time. It does have a bit of a tragic history, Luna Park, as well. It's a nice Ferris wheel here. Carousel, merry-go-round, what do you call them? It's actually got a tragic history, Luna Park. There has been a number of deaths in the park from various rides. Probably the most infamous one was the ghost train fire. So there used to be a ghost train here, and it caught fire, and a number of school children were killed in that in the resulting fire. That bloody ride there, I went on there one day, and geez, it gave me a headache. One of those spinning rides. The old clowns, like the ping pong ball in the mouth. Let me know in the comments if you've ever won a decent prize on these things. I certainly haven't. Yeah, all of this area is usually teeming with people, especially on the weekend. But as I said, two things that have caused that to not be. One's COVID, and secondly, it's just too damn hot. This is not a place you want to be when it's really hot weather. It's just too uncomfortable. The hair raiser. It's one of these towers of terror by the looks of it. See if I can stop here for a second and film it. I came out to film today because this is one of the only days that it's sunny. It's pretty much raining for the next week, so I thought I'd better jump out and make a film before the rain comes. It's a nice clear sky here near the harbour. Look at that guy's face. Just picked up some ice creams for the kids. They'll probably melt by the time I get back to them. Oh, I said the mouse trap before. It's not called the mouse trap, it's called the wild mouse, the roller coaster. Oh, damn, looks like we just missed out on a little performance. Oh, the hungry horse. Yeah, all of this is usually crowded with people. It's just so quiet because of the hot day and the rising COVID infections. Wow, they must be hot performing on a day like this.